Hello, hello. Welcome to Leap Taken. Here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And today, I want to get into the technicalities of witchcraft and let's talk about different types of magic. So, I use different resources uh, to kind of get my, I guess, textbook definitions of these types of magic. Uh, but over the years, I want to say probably, and these are witchcraft books. Some are Wicca bit, but like I look in at least three different references to kind of get an overall um, meaning for some of this that might resonate with everyone else. Basically, I'm making sure that I'm talking about something you probably read before, you probably know what it is, and I'm just giving it sort of a name. I'm giving you the meaning and I'm giving you the actual title of what that is. And why I think it's important to know the details of magic and witchcraft and things like that, like spell work, is because that's how you have the most successful spells. You can only kind of fumble in the dark so long with this witchcraft business that we practice, or this lifestyle that we have of living magically. Yes, we all know there's some people, especially in the beginning, you don't know very much, but you're able to make your spells very successful. And I say you make them because yes, we reach out and we petition others, but ultimately the power is coming from you. And you're able to work those spells and make things happen for yourself. I think most of us, one could call it beginner's luck, but I don't think it's that. I just think that you're coming into spell work with such a positive outlook. A lot of us, when we start, we're very excited and open. We're coming from a place of excitement, which is joy filled. So think of how your spells are going to come out when you're coming with that type of energy. Um, the thing that does happen is, well, one, not everybody who's new is like that. Some people are doubting themselves the entire time. Others who've been doing this for a while, if you never really took the time to get into the details, the technical details of spell work, you might find that they're just not that successful. And you're thinking, is it me? Do I have blocks? People go into this whole thing. People, I have gone into this whole thing thinking there was something else going on, something wrong, when the reality of it is you need to educate yourself deeper into witchcraft. And honestly, you can learn a lot through books. A lot, well, in my case, a lot through books, trial and error, working with other witches over the years, just really sort of piecemealing something together. The good news is I feel really confident now, so much that I actually help others with this because I feel like, okay, everybody else shouldn't have to suffer like I did. And knowing these details are helpful. So let's get to it. So, one of the ways I know a lot of us are probably very familiar with this one is called sympathetic magic. See, that sounds familiar, right? Sympathetic magic is basically saying, um, this is that. So, this is this. You know, that's basically what it means. So, one object is being another, right? So energy is directed into the object, and the magical object, um, and it's basically transferred to a different object. So think like poppets, dolls, sigils, candle burning spells, that sort of stuff. That's how you're basically directing it into something else. But this thing here that you've got, this magical amulet, this whatever. I want to say like your doll, the puppet, is this person, and so whatever you do to this, it's happening over here basically. Um, Comparative magic. So that's when I'll do it again. I'm just grabbing the items. I should have had more props. This represents that, not is, represents. So let's get into that. So relationships are established between the magical object and the other object. Um, Energy is directed also the same way into the other thing as well as is directed. So like think charms. And growth spells. For instance, a plant. You put like I've recently done a growth spell, and I saw the seedlings come up, and that's supposed to let you know that that represents the thing, the goal, the overall goal. So it's not the plant is not the goal unless you want it to be, but that would be sympathetic magic. But more like that plant is representing the overall goal. So where I plant those seeds and it starts to grow, that means the thing I'm manifesting, the thing I'm overall putting energy out into the world to get, including with this plant, will come to me. It will grow. Let's say business. Let me make it more personal. My business would grow. As that plant grows, so does my business. See what I mean? It represents that. So you love on a plant, you talk to it, you talk about your ambitions and all that into the plant, you nurture it, all that, and then the business grows. It represents that. So then there's directive magic. So this affects that. Okay. So magical energy is raised, focused on a goal, directed into an object, and released for accomplishment. So prime examples are candle spells, like pouches, herbal pouches, stones and crystals. So this affects that. Candle spells are probably, yeah, that's the best. I mean, candle spells, you can look at it different ways because I've obviously mentioned that, as well as like candle burning spells, but candle spells are great for directive magic. So this affects this. Think uh, also, I'm trying to, the best way to explain this. So you raise energy with the candle. You're putting, or like I like to say, energy coding. You raise that energy, code it into the candle, and then it directs. So what you do here, it affects something else. Let's be honest, like love spell or stay away from me spell with a candle, that sort of thing. So you do all this energy, get all this up, and what you're doing affects that person or something like that. You see what I mean? Okay, and then the next one is transference magic. Transference magic. So this enters that. So negative energy is moved from affected object, excuse me, into another one. So think like old school, onion, garlic, things like that, and salt. So deadly energy, let's say, like deadly bad energy is moved into a willing host, like a plant. So think like in a hospital room, you're in there, dealing with something or somebody else, and you bring a plant. The whole purpose is to that plant to absorb the deadly energy, right? Or a willing animal, um, if that's what you do, like no judgment from here. But for me, that's how you do things. I'm just talking it through, but basically, this other being, it has to be something. In most cases, you kind of want it to be an organic being so that it can absorb that energy, like a sick patient or something like that. I know, but it's a thing, and yeah, I look at it like this: there are some people who are desperate. When I think of these babies who, have cancer diagnosis and things like that, yeah, as a mother or somebody who has empathy, I would want to do all I could to save that baby. You know what I mean? So if it's, yeah, I can get with this transference magic. This is not something you do lightly. This is something you're going to be very prepared for it, and a very detailed, probably multi-step spells to get this done. But anyway, um, so just remember these things when doing that one, because this one's not that they're not all serious, but this one has a little bit more implications to it. You have to be careful because you could draw the energy to yourself. So careful, concerned, take the protection, proper precautions. You don't want anybody else, to get that energy drawn into them by mistake. So you also want to make sure that you don't draw any hostility to yourself as well, because sometimes, or I'm going to say hostility, but like just the deadly energy. Then there's the feelings around the sickness. That's the best way to explain. People are upset, they're angry, they're pissed off. Why me? That sort of stuff. You have to be careful. People do that anyway. think about it. You talk with somebody you might know, let's say it's not even witchcraft, and they kind of dump on you emotionally. They're pissed off about whatever's going on, or they're very sad. There's a combination, and you feel like they're just putting it on you because by the time you're done talking to them, they feel better, and you kind of feel like crap. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. When you're working with this transference magic, you have to be very careful of that. Um, and also, when doing this, whatever the overall magical goal was, it'll fail if you don't kind of put fail safes in. And when I'm saying careful, I mean protection magic, very focused energy. You're going to have to be very focused. Like you can't break character, so to speak. Like when you start doing this, whenever you're dealing with that person and you're dealing with transference magic, you want to stay in character. Basically, whatever the goal is, which is, I assume, to transfer the deadly energy, the sickness, whatever, from this person into this other being, this organic being. You want to make sure that your head's in the game. This is something you might need to write things down. You don't wing this. You don't hope in a prayer on this one. You take your time. You're gonna have something written out, and you're gonna be. And if you coming back and you're doing it more than once, yeah, you're going to take your time with this. Maybe it's a certain time of day. There's every detail. Every detail has to be right there when you're dealing with this type of situation. Uh, a fun way to practice transference magic is kind of like what I was talking about. If you want to try your hand at this one a little bit more, to me, this is when you get the results, you kind of feel like the most powerful whichever. But anyway, um, basically make up something that you're like super excited about, and talk to somebody who's usually not that excited about anything. We all got people in our lives. It's not that they're mean or bad. Like they just kind of like, they don't really get excited about much. And you just be so enthusiastic. You're going to have to really dig deep. And maybe you really are. And you like, what? I never talked to them about this sort of stuff, but I am now. Let's say you have like a hobby they don't find very interesting, but you are so excited and you're smiling. It's great if you're a person. And watch this thing happen and direct your energy as you're excited, build it up, and then begin to release it. What does releasing look like? Use your imagination, for lack of better words, but basically picture like this stream, assign it whatever color you want. It could just it could be a color of blue, it could be white or something like that. And you just see it rolling out of you and going into that person as you build this energy, this excitement up in yourself. And then witness even the slightest bit more excitement in this person. A smile, even if it's just a slight smile. Some people are funny. You all know what I'm talking about. There's certain people who are just not ever going to give you like a full one chuckle. They'll give you a little smirk. But watch for that. Watch for the slight smile, the body language. They sit up a little bit more. Their eyes perk up a little bit more as you continue to go on. Now, don't belabor the point because nobody likes that. But this is something, again, you're going to be very focused on. So build it up. And then transfer, and then watch for the results. And you can keep this going, and then don't forget to draw back and stop. You don't want to give too much away. But yeah, give that a try. But anyway, I just wanted to get into the technicalities of witchcraft and types of magic, and I want to do more videos like this to sort of teach witchcraft a little bit more. I believe I've been doing it, but a little bit more targeted. So you'll see quite a few videos like this where we kind of get into the details, especially when it comes to spell work and, how do you put all this together? Because I realize there are people who are practicing. Still, you're always going to have newbies, and then you have people who've been practicing for a while, but maybe they never took, for whatever reason, the time, or they didn't know. There are some technical details, that you can follow to got to work the science behind the magic. All right, so thanks again for watching. I'm Mika. This is Leap Taken. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Also, if you're interested, hit the join button and join the Leap Taken membership. There's a video that briefly explains what the two levels are, what they offer. And then, if you're interested in any of my magical services and living a magical lifestyle, go to leaptaken.com. All right, thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.